Hello, friends and family from around the world. This is Mike with Daily Events Worldwide, and we're on June 9th, 2025. Welcome to another surviving day on the planet. Welcome to the Daily Do, giving you your space weather update, earthquakes, volcanoes, and world weather. Always starting out here looking at the last 48 hours of imagery on our sun. Plasma filament taking off from the southern hemisphere and the north, producing polar coronal mass ejections. Other than that, we have not seen much activity from the Earth-facing sunspots. They're moving quickly, but not producing much. Moderate C-class action at best. Looking at the last 48 hours incoming, watching plasma filament on the right-hand side, and as well coronal hole region in the southern hemisphere turning into view. Here's a look at outgoing imagery. Plasma filament right-hand side is the one that took off in the south polar region on the sun. Plasma filaments crisscrossing at the equatorial region. Looking at multispectrum here, pointing out the last 48 hours of events and as well point of interests, meaning those tall plasma filaments that are erecting from the surface, turning into view. Amazing images here brought to you by Solar Dynamics Observatory, looking at the coronal holes, Earth-facing equatorial and a southern crescent into view. 171 angstroms here. This is where you can really see the fiery loops of plasma reacting, interacting with the sunspot regions. Much love, everybody, and thank you for being a part of this channel and the awareness. Here's a look at sunspot regions in motion. Time-lapse sped up a little bit there. Pretty awesome to see. We have 4 Earth-facing sunspots. 4105 looks to be quite alive. That's the one that's been firing off the moderate C-class, but 4109 is cruising quickly in behind it. Current space weather conditions, there are none to report. The solar winds are coming in at 491 kilometers per second. Solar X-ray flux showing moderate C-class solar flares throughout the day today, about 4 of them. Solar proton flux is low. Geomagnetic activity hopped up to a KP4 this morning. Here's your current Space Weather Prediction Center spiral. Next solar storm arrival date for tonight. Late tonight, expect a level 3 geomagnetic event. LASCO 3 here showing wide spectrum. The last 48 hours of cosmic energies leaving our sun. Again, focusing on that double polar CME event. And that was from a plasma filament that was connected from the South Pole to the North Pole. Our sun is putting on quite a show for us, isn't it? Solar cycle 25, the maximum, has already reached its peak, but clearly not done just yet. Having a look at tonight's aurora view line and tomorrow's, diminished since last night, but we're pretty smoked out right across North America anyway. Let's get to earthquakes. The last 24 hours, USGS reporting about 230 earthquakes, largest being 5.9 earthquake here south of Australia, the Western Indian Antarctic Ridge, still going off. Some deep earthquakes in the Tonga region, and as well Vanuatu, all through a southwest ring of fire right now. Philippines, Marianas Trench, deep earthquakes happening around the world. Heads up, my friends and family. We can expect larger, shallower earthquakes to follow. Clayton, Idaho, still going off. 4.3 yesterday. Minor seismicity continues through the region. Even Hawaii still seeing minor seismicity, considering all the eruptions we've seen. You can see here USGS reporting 239 earthquakes in the map area right now. All the red dots are the most recent, and they are piling up east Los Angeles and as well towards the beach, Florence, Graham, California. Earthquakes in San Andreas Fault, moving northward into San Francisco, Bautista, Rodeo, California, Pinole, California, San Francisco Bay Area heads up. 41 earthquakes at the geysers. Cobbs Springs, just south of Clear Lake. Other than that, no major swarms or notable earthquakes. Just keeping an eye on the California coast, especially Petrolia, north to the Juan de Fuca. But notable, interesting earthquakes piling up in Idaho. So stay aware and prepared, my friends and family, and thank you for being here. Carrying on here with earthquakes around the world, Colombia still seeing 4.9 to 4.5 aftershocks, and as well 4.7. Argentina, 4.1. African plate, pretty quiet, except for the Owen fracture zone with a 4.7 earthquake. Shallow, 4.9 earthquake here, Myeongdong, Burma. That's the last 24 hours for earthquakes. A quick browse of the last 7 days on this map. All the elevated rings showing the depth of the earthquakes. And around the world right now, the deep earthquakes are piling up on every continent. And we've seen some strong shakers this week. Largest being the 6.3, Colombia. Heads up, Nazca Plate, Chile, to the Juan de Fuca, north to Alaska. You live in an earthquake-prone zone, just be ready and have a plan. Now let's have a look at our air quality forecast, brought to you by active interrupting volcanoes and as well raging wildfires across Canada from British Columbia straight across the prairies into northern Ontario, even parts of the Northwest Territories. Notable eruptions, Kilauea still. Big, nasty air quality plumes invading the Australian continent this week. Eruption at the Heard volcano in the South Indian Ocean. Overlooking Europe, Etna still puffing away, and as well notable SO2 emissions coming out of the Caribbean islands. Earth seems to be bursting at the seams from the sunbeams, all connected to the electromagnetic fields, all powered by our solar-driven solar system. Carrying on here with world weather, pointing out the major systems affecting North America and Europe this week. Lots of relief coming for the Canadian provinces and British Columbia. Might even see some snow in the long-range forecast, but definitely going to see an extreme weather event from the 18th to the 20th of June across the Canadian prairies, and possible hurricane long-range forecast heading towards the Atlantic provinces. And again, quite possibly snow with this low-pressure system in the long-range forecast. Believe it or not, I mean, it's possible, but it's in the forecast right now, and it can change. Carrying on here with Europe, Africa, Southeast Asia. Pretty sizable low-pressure system grinding up into China this week. Most likely will join forces with another system and head into eastern Russia. Other than that, no cyclones or typhoons, except for the long range. Could see a couple big ones developing out of China, but not quite the conditions just yet. And then overlooking the southern hemisphere, big low affecting New Zealand for the next few days, and as well a pretty strong low-pressure system affecting southern parts of Australia and Tasmania. And then watch as these very strong lows roar across the southern hemisphere and pound Tasmania and the south coast of Australia all week long. Thoughts and prayers going out to everybody affected by these wildfires through Canada, northern British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, Northwest Territories, all being affected. Much love, and I hope you are staying aware and prepared here with daily events worldwide. If you are, thank you for pressing play. Thank you for being here. Here is a browse at satellite imagery, the view from above, as these wildfires rage out of northern BC and Alberta, can see wildfire smoke dipping down into the southern United States as far as Texas now, and invading eastward as far as at the Atlantic provinces. Thick plumes coming out of northern BC. Thoughts and prayers to everybody. Stay safe and healthy out there, and quite possibly just go out and buy an N95 mask and be ready, because this is about to get really bad. Much love, stay aware and prepared, stay safe and healthy. Bye-bye now.